Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's good, y'all?
Welcome to another segment. Switching it up a little bit today, a little segment. But before I get into the details, we got to go through the regular schlingo. And you guys know what that is. Welcome to the Straight Up and R&D podcast, where we give it to you real, raw, uncut, straight up opinions based on motherfucking facts. All right? Based on facts. And the number one rule on this podcast, if you've been rocking with us, is we don't give a fuck about your feelings.
At all.
That's just the truth.
But we appreciate the support.
We appreciate the support. Sound off in the comments. I know y'all do not like what we say. But we don't give a fuck about what you like and you don't like. But I am your host, Rich.
I'm D.
And my co-host D. And we're going to jump right into it. And this segment is going to be on the political climate that we are currently in right now. It's like wild.
It's
wild.
And I know we've been coming at y'all with a lot of political shit, but you know, it's the season for it. Happens every 4 years, and this is one for the history books, yo. We got people dropping out. Our last political episode, Biden dropped out? He didn't drop out yet.
At that time, he didn't drop out.
Yeah, so now we got people dropping out. At this point now, I guess it's official. Kamala Harris is the official Democrat, nominee. And we just got a lot to talk about, y'all, and I kind of want to go off. I had to calm myself down before the episode.
yeah, and I guess we'll we'll jump right into the hot water with this one with Trump's recent interview on the NABJ or the
National
Black Association of Journalists.
Yeah, like a conference for black journalists.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I watched the whole thing. All right. I watched the whole thing. And man, the very first question was just like an attack.
It was a straight on attack.
I didn't understand what the reason was for all the heat. The man just came on the stage and I forget the woman's name. She just starts drilling him as he gave that
first question.
Yo. And what was funny is Trump's like, well, you didn't even greet me. You know what I'm saying? You come down, you're attacking him. And not only that, they were 30 minutes late. They started
Trump
30 minutes late.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, that's good that he said that. You know what I mean? Because you can't be late to your own conference.
This man is running for the president of the United States.
This is a former president. Let's stay with the facts. This is a former president.
Still be addressed as Mr. President because he was a former president. People address Obama as Mr. President still because he held that seat in the office. So even though Trump is running for president again, he still served one term, and he was the 45th president of the United States. So I feel like respect has to be given to him because of his position. He led this. He was in that leadership role for this country. First question. Talking about, your race is this. You ate with the KK member this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? So Trump was like, that was just extremely rude. Why would you ask a question so nasty? And I agree because, bro, I'm watching it. And I'm like.
It was absolutely unnecessary. Like, be civil. You know, if this was Obama, she wouldn't have done that. They would have been on time. They would have been on time. You know, but he also said Kamala was supposed to be there and she didn't show up.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that either.
But she black though, so why wasn't she there? This is the National Association of Black Journalists. Why wasn't Kamala there? Trump showed up.
So
he's a racist and he went into
Lion's Den, bro.
To the Lion's Den. You know, that's a good way to put it. Like, why wasn't Kamala there to shine? She should have been able to shine. Like, yeah, like you said this and immunity for cops and this, that, and the third. Like, that was her moment. And where was she?
And the media is not giving her any shit for not showing up. The media is giving shit to Trump because when Biden was running, Biden put in, him and Biden agreed to the debate format.
Mm-hmm.
Now Biden dropped out. Trump wants to change it up. They were like, oh, why are you not sticking to what you agreed to? He agreed to that with Biden, not Kamala. So now he's like, well, if you want to debate me, I want it on Fox News now, no longer on MSNBC. And I think that's totally within his right, because if y'all just going to drop out middle, election season, he has the right to go back to the table and stir the agreement around. Mm-hmm. So he's catching flack for that. But nobody is addressing Kamala for not showing up to a black conference to talk to black Americans on why they should vote for them or vote for her. Nobody's saying nothing. Trump brought it up, and you don't even see the media saying a word about it, bro.
It's like they're very selective. Like, I understand, like, people hate the guy. And again, I made my political views clear. I'm not voting for either or. I wasn't voting for Biden. I wasn't voting for Trump, and I'm damn sure not voting for Kamala. If that's what the Democrats, the best that they have, and this is how her views are, and this is what she's going to be doing, I definitely don't want to go down that road either. But it's just sad that everyone is highlighting all the little minute stupidity conversations that's not actual policy. We're voting based on this woman being black, allegedly now. And I don't care. Look, listen, I don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. Oh, her mother is Indian and her father is Jamaican. Fuck all that nonsense. Because if you become the first senator, the first Indian American senator of California, mm-hmm. You did not become the first the first black senator of California. You prioritize your Indian heritage. That means you identify as being Indian.
And that's fine.
There's no problem with that.
Exactly.
But you can't come now with 100 days left, and then you're gonna tell me all of a sudden you're black.
That's what we're saying, bro. That's what, I'll say this. I think Trump was wrong for addressing that, but he's literally saying, go on the streets, bro. That's what a lot of people are talking about. I go on the streets and debate people in the streets at the parks. Well, other black Americans, everybody's saying the same thing. Nobody can control how you come into this world. I personally don't care if she's black, white, Indian, Muslim, whatever. I don't care. But if you were recognizing with your Indian heritage, before the election, and that's fine, but don't try to pander to black people now, saying, oh, now I'm going to use my black side to try to gain some votes. I think that's corny. Mm-hmm. If you didn't recognize as black before, don't do it now because it's time to get elected. That's just my thing. So, like, if she was choosing to recognize as, black before, Indian before, fine. But it's just like, come on. I think it's just corny just to try to get the black vote. And it kind of shows you how little they have to do to get the black vote. Or you got to say, oh, yeah, I'm black. Bring Megan Thee Stallion. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Bring her ass on the stage to twerk. Yeah, now I got the black vote. She's not doing nothing to cater to us. No policies in place. Nothing. She didn't come to the damn black conference. She's basically saying to black America, I got your vote in the bag. I don't need to come.
I don't need to come because I identify as black now.
Exactly. She's literally disrespecting black America and saying, I don't need to come to the conference because I already know I have your vote. Trump needs to come to talk about how he plans to help black America. But, back to that conference, the questions they asked him, bro. Mm-hmm. They were literally just attacking Trump and saying how much we don't like you, why you should be for president. Now, they didn't discuss his policies. They barely discussed his policies. And one thing I was looking for, I want everybody to try to remember. In 2020, Ice Cube partnered with Donald Trump on the Platinum Plan, right? Basically, it's a lot of things that he wants to happen for black America, like better health care, build better black businesses, a lot of things for the black community. Trump was on it. Obviously, he didn't get reelected, so, it really didn't continue. So I was hoping at this conference that, like, hey, in 2020, you partnered with Ice Cube on, the Platinum Plan. is this something you still, trying to implement for Black America? Not a soul and ask that question. How are you a national Black conference?
And if you don't have the Platinum Plan or don't know what it is, please use this moment to Google what it is. It's a really good plan. A lot of stuff focusing on Black jobs, Black businesses, and definitely making the Juneteenth a federal holiday. So there's a lot of things in there that also giving money to HBCUs, which Trump has done before already. But it's a good plan that outlines a lot of stuff that Black people need or would want.
This was the conference to ask him about that. Because you supported it before, you should ask them like, hey, or is this something you still hoping to implement for Black America? They didn't ask them. So now because they missed the opportunity to ask them, I don't know when. I don't know when they're gonna have like another Black reporter to ask them, or like, I don't know when is the next opportunity to ask them about this. Like the debates
because they're going to be focusing on campaigning right now.
Exactly.
Because they have to go to the battleground states like Pennsylvania, the ones, the Washington, like those states, or Massachusetts, where those states are like
either or,
very close to either or type joints. So and it makes sense because but that was a good opportunity to ask these type of questions like, hey, what about this Platinum Plan? So-and-so Ice Cube approached you with these things and some of the stuff is on there. Like, are you going to continue that? Or like those were Black related questions that I expected them to ask for people that hated him so much. Like, come on now. But yet it was just a fueled up emotional fight against the man. Like,
exactly, bro.
What sense was that about?
And then they did ask him about police immunity, and at the end, I think this is something they should have asked in the beginning. Even though Trump has voiced his opinion on Project 2025, this is something they should have brought up in the beginning or like mid interview. If people wanted further clarification, especially Black America, on what Project 2025 is and if that's something that he's endorsing. They brought that up when they're like, oh, there's no more time left. He has to go. And I'm like, why wouldn't you bring that up in the beginning? Like, y'all were 30 minutes late, so the interview was only about 35 minutes. That's not enough time. Minimum, it should have been an hour. That's not enough time to be interviewing the former president of the United States and somebody who's trying to, capture that seat again. So if you had a limited amount of time, you had to say, all right, let me get these emotional bullshit questions out the way. Let's start attacking about your policies, what you're going to be doing for Black America. Let the emotions get in the way, bro.
And that's like the main crux of that entire interaction of him being there. Like, it's a Black conference. It's a Black conference, basically. You have all these other Black journalists in the crowd, like they want to hear good questions. They want to put him on the spot. And, I think, the only thing, and look, I'm not trying to pick up for the man, but you got to give him some credit for showing up. Mm-hmm. Got to give him some credit for clarifying what he meant by the Black jobs. You gotta give him some credit for, they put him on the spot about the cop that shot the woman in the face, what he would do with it. And honestly, I say his answer was bullshit. He bullshitted on it. I think
it was a bullshit answer.
Yeah, it was a bullshit answer, right? But again, you really want to hold him accountable, so you got to attack him on that, right? Like, what do you mean you don't know? How could you not know? You know what I mean? Like,
I was so disappointed. I was like, what do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, that's a big thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, it's
right?
Like, you telling me nobody brought that to your attention? It's like, all right, you're running for the president of the United States. I can understand you have a busy schedule, but you're telling me, as much as you ask on Twitter, nobody brought this up to your attention? As many as people you have in your corner that brings up other stories to your attention.
Yeah, other bullshit stories that the one about JD Vance. Yeah, and they were hawking on his VP.
Yeah.
The one about JD Vance talking about old people with cats that don't have kids. I'm like, you find that to be more important than the woman that got killed and slain by a cop? Like, you can't.
I thought that was some bullshit.
You know what I mean? Like, that was some bullshit. But, like, again, the journalist shouldn't have been harping on his VP about that stupid cat nonsense.
Bullshit.
Harp on an actual crime that happened. Okay, then bring up, all right, well, if in the George Floyd case, would those police officers get immunity?
That's what I'm saying.
How would that work? You know, or all, like, you know, give some examples of other cases that police were brutal to black people.
I wanted them to double down on the police immunity because I didn't like his answer on that. And to be honest, he got because it was such limited time, he got away with saying some bullshit answers. Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't know. And then it's like they explaining the case to him. And then he's just like, yeah, you know, it was wrong.
He's like, yeah, I got to see the case. I got to see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, like, that was some bullshit.
It was wrong. And I believe he said he wouldn't grant immunity to that. I don't even think he even said that. He was just like, well, the union's not backing him up.
Yeah. He said all of that stuff too.
But then he kind of went into like what he meant by police immunity, which is I agree with this point in that we kind of gone too far with this defunding the police thing, and we don't want cops in our communities. We kind of went too far with that because he did bring up Chicago. And look, Chicago been a problem since I've been in high school.
Yeah,
Chicago been a problem since the birth of Chicago. Like, he brought up on 4th of July how many hundreds of killings and shootings there were. And like, yet they need to be police. So like, you can't pull back police on certain communities. But again, they should have brought up other cases to really double down on what he meant by immunity. Like, good point. Like, well, will you have granted George Floyd police immunity? Like,
yeah, the Mike Brown case.
So many cases.
Like, a lot of cases, there would have been perfect examples, right? That, you know, they could have harped on, because he can't sit there and say he don't know about the case.
Yeah, a million cases.
He knows. So I really have to point the finger at those journalists for not being good journalists. You know, they have their black women. They're on the stage with a former president. It's not like he never ran and he was never president before. This is a former president, so he knows what it's like to be a president. Mm-hmm. Press him on these things, right? But they folded on it, and they got too emotional, and that I didn't like. It was just, like, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but it was just too emotional.
But I heard another journalist say this, and I think it was Stephen A. Smith. I could be wrong, but immediately after I saw that, I was looking for reactions, and they said they should have been at least one man in that group instead of all females, just to have a greater balance. Mm-hmm. So, like, other journalists said that too. And again, it's not to be sexist, it's just like, you know, it should have just been a bit more balance of the journalist there interviewing him. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man, like, 35 minutes late.
35 minutes late.
Like, damn, that's a typical black stereotype right there. It's like, come on, you can't. Bro, there is no way.
If that was Obama, they wouldn't be late.
You cannot have the former president of the United States waiting.
If that was Kamala, they wouldn't be late.
He would have been justified in leaving.
Yeah.
If it's 10, 15 minutes late, he could have been like, I'm leaving.
But you know what they would have said? Oh, we invited him and he left. And he didn't show up. But then Kamala didn't show up at all. Like, you know, I don't know. It's a lot of propaganda, a lot of going back and forth and playing. But what I want to transfer and switch on over to is how, and you did mention this earlier, is how easy it is to grab the black vote with Meg Thee Stallion twerking on stage. Reminds me just like what Jay-Z did during Hillary Clinton's run.
Yeah.
Where he went up there and was rapping and all of this. I'm like, first of all, you got to understand how hard it is to even get Jay-Z to perform. This man barely even makes music. Period.
Yeah, he chilling. He out there with Beyonce on a beach somewhere.
So you were able to get him on the stage, and that was supposed to get the black vote for Hillary. Didn't work out for her. Fast forward, you're doing the same tactic again.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing again. You get Glorilla, you get Quavo, you get all these other knuckleheads that for some reason black people are supposed to listen to these clowns, and their influence is supposed to make us vote for them.
Why are entertainers being taken seriously?
I don't see. Does Taylor Swift pop out and say vote for Kamala?
I don't think so.
I don't see. I mean, I don't see
it.
I don't see that. Does Miley Cyrus pop out and say, "Oh, go vote for Kamala"?
No.
Does those TikTok girls do they TikTok and dance on the stage to get white people to vote for Kamala? No, they don't. They don't. But why is it when it's black people, we gotta have a clown show? A clown show to have people jump up on the stage and Glorilla jump up on the stage and say all this nonsense.
See, my thing too, bro, how much little effort it takes to get the black vote. And unfortunately, it's working. All she got to do is pull out her Jamaican card, say I'm black on a few interviews, have Megan Thee Stallion come on stage, twerk in a goddamn crop top suit, out there with a suit on with a crop top on and talking about the song she even played. She played
Savage.
I'm a Savage. Talking about she ratchet and shit at a presidential rally. Talking about bougie and ratchet, whatever. And then she got some other Japanese song, putting up hand signs and shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck we doing, bro?
Joe.
That's all she has to do to get the black vote. And unfortunately, it's working. Because the amount, bro, I've been on a tear. I've been on a tour. The amount of people, family members, friends who like fell into this Kamala Harris trap just because she's a black woman. And I literally heard somebody today, oh yeah, the Megan Thee Stallion thing is to help with the young voters. I'm like, how the fuck is that going to help young voters?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what Megan Thee Stallion missed? It's like, look, if you want to have a recognizable face at your conference, that's fine. You could have had her do a speech. The left, what is one of the main things that what they're trying to do? Ban guns, right?
Yep.
She was a victim of gun violence. She could have went there and said a speech on like why we should ban guns.
That is true.
You see what I'm saying?
That is very true.
I thought about this shit. I'm like, you could have said a speech about stopping gun violence, why we should ban guns, because she could have like, oh, I was attacked by a gun. Guns are big and bad, blah, blah, blah. Instead, you go and twerk at a presidential rally. And I'm like, this no sort of professionalism, bro. Like, this is a presidential rally. You found it suitable to go up on there in a crop top suit and shake your ass? I couldn't believe it. And then Quavo, dumbass.
Is his nephew or is his uncle? I don't know.
Oh, it was his nephew.
His nephew. He gets killed by gun violence. You got two celebrities, and not one of them can be like, "Oh, I support Kamala Harris's policies on gun reform."
But hold on. Quavo said something about gun violence, right? But you know what pisses me off? Go listen to his music.
And I'm like, so it's like,
go listen to his music, bro.
So it's like, what do you want, bro? Like, do you want gun violence in your favor for your people, or like, do you want it for everybody?
I heard him say, he said something briefly about gun violence. I think he brought up Takeover, but he said something briefly about gun violence. But I'm like, you got in your songs, you're talking about kill him, AK this, Magnum this.
Got the blicky in this dude and
you talking about multiple people in your
Draco
songs.
King, like all this other nonsense.
So I'm like, I don't want to hear hear shit from you regarding gun violence. And then you show up, tattoos on the face, grills and chains all over you. You show up to a presidential rally, not even looking business professional. Bro, I'm like, we don't even
got
take
the
shit.
shades on,
Got the
iced out. Like, look at before he wears a suit.
I'm like, am I the only one thinking like this? You don't show up in a suit to take yourself serious.
No.
You show up with iced out chains and grills, and I'm like, yo, this is who we depending on. This is who we listening to and who we should vote for.
Yo.
I can't make this up, bro. I can't make this up, bro. This is what Kamala Harris is doing to gain support for the black vote. And unfortunately, it's working for some people.
Yeah, it's working really damn well. Sad to say, but you know, this is how you get the black vote. You just, like I said before, get some clowns. They say a couple of things. They're like, oh, I know that guy. He sings the Bad and Bougie song.
Yeah.
I really like it. And remember, you got to understand, like, the younger generation, the hot shit only lasts for like 2 days. And then it's done.
Yeah.
And especially in music. You hear the song a couple times, they over it. They done. The generation before them, like the older people, they'll hear that song, even though Bad and Bougie played, I don't know what, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. If that song come on, they're hype. Play it in the club with some young people, they're like, why are you playing this, right? You got to understand, those people who are looking and watching these people on stage, they're like, oh, they're viewing this guy as like some big time rapper, some big dude. Quavo, he's not shit. All right, he's not shit. He's no good rapper. He's no none of that. But they're looking at him like, oh man, yeah, this is a prominent dude. Let's vote for him. Then obviously they use the Meg Thee Stallion type girls, entertainers, to get to the younger audience because Meg Thee Stallion's on that foolishness that they on with every minute. First she's talking about the whole situation with Tory, then the drama behind it, then her and PNB. Then, you know, like she's like doing a lot of nonsense and the younger generation keep up with that. And, you know, they like her. She got a fan base. Yeah. Half those people can't even vote yet. So I don't know why they, who are you trying to get to vote? Like these kids are 17, 15. They can't vote yet.
They can't vote yet.
So you're only appealing to people over 18. And even them is like, you know, they most likely they don't even vote that much because they don't care. So like to really show,
they're not paying attention,
and they're not even paying attention. So even if they do vote, they'll say, "Oh well, yeah, I remember Meg was on the stage. Yeah, vote for Kamala just because of that." And then I'm gonna let you talk about this one. The shorty that was on Anton, what's his name? Anton Daniels?
Anton Daniels.
Anton Daniels show.
Oh my God.
Like, explain what happened.
So it's a viral clip going around. The creator is called Anton Daniels. And he was basically doing like a live stream with other guests. And they're talking about politics. They're talking about, you know, the current election race. I guess he asked a question like, who you voting for and why? This woman said, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. He said, why? Because she's a black woman. And that's it. And that's it. She is playing the identity politics. She is just voting for Kamala Harris because she's a black woman. Not because of any of her policies. I doubt she even know what a policy is. Not because of what she's standing for. Not because of anything positive that her and Biden is currently doing in the country. If you could find anything positive. Because of nothing. Simply because she's a black woman. Anton went off on her ass. Anton went off on her ass saying, you need to vote because of policies. Not because of somebody's color or their skin. Nobody, I don't give a damn if you black, yellow, mint green. I need to know what you're doing for this country, which will help me and other Americans so we can live better. Bro, interest rates are currently at like 9-10%. If Kamala
it's at 11.
11%?
Yeah.
It's at 11%. She's in the office right now with Joe Biden, with the current state of this economy. You're ignoring all of these things and said, I'm just going to vote for her because she's black. And I ain't going to put this person on blast because I love this person. But this other person that I know said the same thing. And I'm like, she got y'all, yo. She's literally, this is what I'm saying. It don't take much to get the black vote, bro.
It does not. It doesn't. Man.
All she gotta say is I'm a black American and I got Megan Thee Stallion. Boom.
And Quavo. Yo, and like, it's just crazy that she apparently, you know, like I said earlier, she has a black father, but the man never really raised her. Like I've seen some videos where she had like there's this one Indian comedian. She was in the show The Office. She was in The Office. And she's Indian, right? Yeah, so it's like, they can connect and they can relate on that because Kamala was raised mainly by her mom and whatever, and you know she has a much deeper connection to that side. Mm-hmm. That's how she was raised. Like us black people, like when we were raised in these public schools and raised in America, like, you know, living like that and understanding how to navigate, the household is different from an Indian household.
Yeah.
A black household is different from an Indian household.
Mm-hmm. Like she's not in tune with the culture.
She's not in tune with it. So it's cool and all. I'm not saying there's a problem, but don't come around and then just jump and say you black because you're half black, right? If you want to get technical and you want to, hey, everybody's 2% white, 1% German, 0.9% Asian. Like, what we're going to do, just jump, well, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was Asian, so yeah, I can appeal to the Asian. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I look at her, when I look at her, I'm super serious. I'm dead ass. I don't see a black woman. I'm being honest. Like, I never looked at her as
nobody does.
Oh, this is the first black female president of the United States of America. Like, she was never campaigning on that. It was never like brought up as such. It was more of like, oh, she's just a woman running. Oh, where's her background? She's half Indian, half black. Okay. You know, like if Michelle was running, I'm looking at her as a black woman.
Yeah.
Ain't no code switching. You know, if ands or buts. We know when Obama ran. Yeah, his mother?
His mom was white.
But he identified as black. Did he go on the stage and say, oh, to white America, oh, I'm half white and I identify as white? He didn't do that. And we have to be 100% on this type of shit, bro. We have to be 100. We have to be 100. Obama didn't go out and say, yo, I'm fucking half white.
He identified as
as black, point blank. No bullshit, no. Oh, what?
He wasn't a chameleon.
Exactly. The whole birth certificate shit came out. You know what I mean? Like all of that shit. It was no Obama's not black. There was no question. The dude is black. This one now.
There's questions.
You came in as the first Indian American senator. That's how you're fucking known in politics. That is how you're a senator.
Exactly.
You're known as an Indian American senator, not a black Indian American senator. That is what is written on the government website.
That's all anybody trying to
So it's like, all this nonsense right now, obviously, is just to get the black vote. And black people cannot see the bullshit. That's what's really frustrating me right now.
And you know what else, too? I saw some other interviews. They were like, who's your favorite rapper alive, Kamala? Tupac. And then I'm like, man, been dead for how long?
The question was alive.
Alive. And then she said something. Oh, man. It was about the interview. She was like, yeah, she cooked good collard greens. Everybody in the neighborhood talking about she want collard greens. She had to cook so much she had to make it in the bathtub.
Pause. I'm gonna pause right there. Black people, Jamaicans don't make collard greens. So what? What?
That's
what?
A fact.
Bro, that's a
fact.
fucking lie. That's a lie right there.
That's a fact.
Jamaicans don't run around talking about we make collard greens. That's for the South. That's the South. Black Americans do that.
And she's talking about she had to make it in the bathtub. I'm like, first of all, black people don't cook shit in the bathtub. We don't want shit in no bathtub.
Exactly. we know only a certain type of people make shit inside of the bathtub. I'm not even going to try to go down that road right now, but we know. But what I'm trying to say is this is all bullshit. If she was trying to pull up her black roots and all that stuff, why you ain't talking about the Jamaicans? Why are you not saying anything? Because Jamaica is not a part of America. And we had a whole episode about black Americans versus foreign blacks, where we say Jamaicans don't even identify themselves as blacks in America because they draw a fucking line between that. So we already talk about all of this shit on the podcast, and especially for some, I hope a lot of our viewers are not going to be voting for this nonsense. But we talked about it already. Like, you can't sit here and tell me this woman is now all of a sudden black because her father is Jamaican, right? And she's talking about collard greens. Like, where if she was Jamaican, why didn't she bring Shensia on the stage instead of Meg Thee Stallion?
That's true.
Why didn't she try to bring up Bob Marley or Marcus Garvey or try to bring up some of them other Jamaican leaders that tried to, push the movement for black people? Why she never did that?
I said, you know how many great black leaders we have in this country that you could have bring to the presidential rally to speak to black America? You bring fucking Quavo and Meg Thee Stallion. We have so many prominent leaders right now that could have went up on stage and said black America and be able to articulate why they should vote for you. You say, you know what, I'm not even going to go that deep. I'm going to just bring Quavo. You come up there, talk your shit. Meg, go twerk. Boom, I got the black vote.
Yo, Vibes Cartel is free, and she didn't even say anything about that.
Yeah, that's true.
The man is free. She's supposed to be allegedly half Jamaican, and she didn't say anything about that. And what even bothers me the most, and look, I don't have a problem with who you want to marry, who you want to date, but her husband is white on top of that. And if you know anything, right, in the real fucking world, the man is a leader of the household. Right? The man's a leader of the household. Right? She could be, quote unquote, leader of the country or whatever. But we know, no matter what race, age, whatever you are, right? The man is predominantly going to be his race. Like, the culture is going to be more on his side. Like, a lot of the stuff is going to be more on his side, right? We get that. So Kamala's really been whitewashed.
Yeah, cause she's not in tune with her culture.
She's not in tune with the culture.
Put that on her children.
Honestly, I haven't even done no research on her husband, but has he been to Jamaica? Has he been walking around in the parishes, walking around taking photo ops? None of that.
Yeah, we was just talking about that.
None of that. Did he do that? I mean, I don't hear nothing about it. I mean, if it was that important, they would have been showing all of that stuff already. She would have talked about it already, right? So it's like, where's this blackness? Where is it? Where's the Jamaicanness? Where's her father? Why her father didn't come out and say something? Like, where is all of that?
I just don't like feeling like, I just don't like the pandering, basically. I just don't like how she thinks how stupid the black community is, bro. She thinks that the black community is so stupid that I don't even have to call out a single policy for y'all. Y'all already got y'all vote.
She really don't have to call out a policy. She just say, tomorrow, wake up, I am black. I'm going to be the first black president. female president in the United States history. Like, listen, I don't doubt that this country can have a female president, but in our global climate, right now is not the time. I would like to see one. Yes, I would like to have a female president. Yes, I want to see it, or another race or something, what have you. I don't discriminate on who can be the president as long as they're an American-born citizen from this country, not an immigrant that became a citizen and and can possibly run for president and speaking a whole different language and we don't even understand and end up winning. I don't want that. But right now, the way the world is right now, the way the political climate right now, especially with the war in Israel, the war in Ukraine, all these Iran, Hezbollah,
a lot of shit going on.
All of these things that's going on right now is not the time. It's not the time.
Not the time.
When Hillary was running, that was the time.
Yeah, no, that was a good
That
time.
was the time. And if she won, she won. All right. But it didn't happen. But right now is not the time. With 100 days left, a lot of tensions in the air. One of Hamas leaders got blown up.
Yeah.
This is not the time. We can't be talking about all my feelings.
Project.
Exactly. This ain't for no experiments. We need somebody who's going to be.
We need somebody experienced in that seat.
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? Trump already serves one term. He has to. He gotta go. He has to go back in the seat, yo, because Kamala's all right. She was the VP, but to be at the helm now is like, it's too much going on in the world right now to see like, all right, let's see if you could do the job. But yeah, man, not to stray away from like the original question of of Antonio Daniels and shit, but that's how a lot of black people think. Just gonna vote for her just because she's a black woman. And some of the guys are thinking like that because they just want to be accepted by women. They ain't got no fucking balls to think for themselves. They just like, you know what? The women like that, so I'm gonna vote for Kamala too. And I'm still waiting to hear on Kamala, like what's she gonna do? Because she's talking about this Build Back Better plan shit. Like that was you and Biden. And then, you know what even pissed me off? They asked her a question about the border. She like, Donald Trump talking a big game about this border. It was secured under his presidency. And she's like, I'm going to fix it. You're the border czar. You're in charge of the border. And look at the border.
He said, you're the border czar and look what's happening.
And so I'm just like, how can you sit there and make fun of Trump about the border when under your watch is shit? And when he was the president, it was secure. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, and the media now calling her out. This is what pissing me off. Trump could say one thing. It'll be on CNN, MSNBC for weeks. Kamala could say something, swept under the rug. Like we even talked about before. Joe Biden said, if you're not black, or if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Swept under the rug.
Swept under the rug. Ha ha. Why wasn't there a big outrage from the black community? Why wasn't there like, oh, whoa, he's pandering for the black vote and this, that, and the third? Nobody says anything. Nobody goes back and say when Kamala said, oh, I'm not doing nothing only for black people. I'm not just going to do something for only black people. I'm doing it for everybody. Well, aren't you black? You shouldn't even be making a statement like that.
You know what
I'm saying? You got Eric Adams making policies for everybody else.
You know what's even crazy about that statement too? You're not gonna do something just for black people, but you got laws in place for Asians. The Asian hate bill, that's just for that group. You got laws in place. Lasted a minute though. But you got laws in place for LGBTQ community.
Oh yeah.
Just for that group. But now we talk about putting something in place for black people. Oh, we can't do that.
Oh, all hands off. Can't do that. You can't say only for black. Oh, let's talk about this DEI. That's another thing I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, it was funny when Trump said maybe she is a DEI.
That nigga's hilarious.
But I think he was saying something like, "Oh, she is," because Biden said he's gonna make her his VP because she's a black woman. So isn't that?
Yeah, no, that's
on the lines of being a DEI.
No,
I mean,
just because she's a black woman.
I don't know. You know, a lot of the stuff is weird. You know,
and you know, like, it's easy to go that DEI route because the people didn't choose her. People chose Donald Trump to represent the Republicans. You know, they had some great candidates. Vivek.
Right.
Yeah, Vivek they had. Why is blanking out? With the guy in Florida.
Not Santos.
Why am I blanking out on him?
Damn, I have like an image of his face.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm blanking out on him. The governor for Florida.
Yeah, the governor of Florida. Who else they had?
Damn, I can't
The
remember.
other black dude. That was
I'm
just
blanking out on a lot of people's names. But anyway, the point is, they was all in competition with each other to who's going to be chosen to represent the Republican side for president. The people chose Trump.
Mm-hmm. Ron DeSantis.
Ron
DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
But the people chose Trump. He won fair and square. He didn't even have to show up, but people still chose Trump. And they chose him the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala, nobody chose you. You was just given the seat.
Yeah, you know, and I was saying this in a previous podcast. Like, isn't it strange that no one debated on the Democratic side Biden for re-election? Like, nobody debated him. He didn't have no opposition from his own party, nothing. He was automatically awarded the DNC nomination, and boom, he's here. And then after the fact, Kamala just pops up and he's like, yeah, I'm going to endorse you. I'm going to drop out because I can't remember anything. And, you know, I'm tripping up the stairs. I'm falling around. Don't know what I'm saying. Can't speak properly. Kamala take over the lead. And she just automatically inherits everything. Like, that's a red flag. Like, that shouldn't be that way. Because that's
flags going on the left, man.
That means Biden could have just gave it to any random guy on the street and say, vote for him or vote for this person. Mm-hmm. So, in a way, if you really think about it, the Democrats it's not a democracy because I'm giving you someone who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, bro. Like, see that they were slick.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah, they were slick with that shit, man.
It's like, oh, I'm no longer it, but this person who I chose is gonna represent the Democratic Party. Listen, not that she earned it by votes from the Democrats, but she was just like, here, you're it.
And to be honest with you, with the limited amount of time left, this really was no other choice. You don't have time to introduce somebody new for them to go, you know, to build their campaign. And it's not enough time for that. The American people know Kamala Harris. She was the VP, or, you know, she still currently is the VP. They got to put it out there because now it's like 90 days left. Mm-hmm. So it's not, if Biden would have dropped out, he would have had to drop out a long time ago. Because I bet you if he dropped out a while ago, I don't think Kamala would be the person here.
No, she would not. She wouldn't be.
Kamala would not be.
She wouldn't be
the Democratic nominee to run for president. Because it's limited time. The American people already know you. And we could leverage you being a woman and being a black woman to gain some votes.
Yeah, she could have started accepting being black at that time, long time ago, you know? Instead of within 90 days. Well, three, I just can't wrap my head around it. Within 3 months, she's black. Like with 3 months left, she's now black. Like, again, people may not like what I'm saying about me saying, oh, she's black, or going along with what these Republicans are saying. But listen, call a spade, yo. Like, you cannot tell me all of a sudden you're falling out onto your black side. Just say you're Indian.
Yeah, I don't.
Just say you're Indian. Just say that.
I don't think nobody would care.
Trump, JD Vance, his wife is Indian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just say that. Like, they're okay with it. Just say that. Obama was half white, half black. He said he was black and stuck with it. Just say that, Kamala. Be consistent. If you wishy-washy right now, imagine when you get in office. That means half the shit that you saying now, you definitely ain't gonna do when you get in. And with only 100 days left, you telling me you have a whole big policy and everything already ready?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
And now you're trying to run around to battleground states to vote to get people to vote for you for what policies? We don't know what. We see what you did with the border, and you think anything's gonna change, you guys? Come on, be realistic. I'm not telling who you to vote for, but just open your eyes, black people. Open your eyes, and you'll see the bullshit that they're throwing in your face.
I mean, think about it. Black people, we voted for that same side for 50 years. What did black people get out of it?
Not a damn thing.
Like, what did we get out of Obama being at the helm for 2 terms?
We got gay marriage.
Like,
I mean, that's what we got. That's what he's known. No, that's what he's known for.
That's what he's known for.
Across the world, like, he's known for that.
You voted the same way for so many years and got nothing out of it. And, there are some, black Americans that are waking up to like, damn, man, like, this is just a plantation. And, they don't even go, I think if you're running for president, no matter what side, even if you think you got that side locked up, you should still go to certain states. Like, you should still go to those states that are,
like California.
that are supporting you.
She should still go to California.
She's not going to go to certain states.
Yeah. I mean, she's not, because she knows, hey,
Like
Biden already did all that work.
She's not coming to New York. I don't think she's going to come to New York. There are going to be certain states like, I ain't going there. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. Y'all just going to vote blue and that's it.
Why she didn't go to the Bronx? I mean, a lot of black people are there. Crime is high over there.
High as hell over
They
there.
they just did a 107 federal indictment on these these little young drill rappers that running around running havoc on the city. Why she didn't go over there and talk about educating the youth and lowering down crime? Why
bro?
Why she ain't meet up with Adams and talk about that stuff? This is a heavily Democratic state. Why she ain't go? Trump was there. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is why I think Trump is gonna win. Again, I'm not voting, but I say he's gonna win.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Because the people who I think before who said they're not voting, the thing about it, people hate for Trump is so large, bro, that they don't even give a damn who or what they're voting for.
It's just as long as it's not him.
Yeah, so it's just, I think it's going to be close, but I think Trump will edge out, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. And on that note, just let us know what you think out in the comment section. This is going to be a hot one. We're going to be paying very close attention to this whole political madness as it unrolls and unravels itself. Tomorrow, we don't know. Could be some new news. Like it seems like every day is always something. And honestly, I remember like maybe 2-3 months ago we were talking about this. Like, yeah, when it starts getting hot, the political climate gets hot. Like, we gotta really buckle down on this shit.
I hope they debate.
I hope they debate too, but I feel like they're not gonna do it because it's too close. Because if you say the wrong thing out of debate, that could break you. So I doubt they're gonna debate. They probably have the shouting match from their rallies, but it'll be interesting because I was the guy that he predicts who's gonna
Yeah,
win the presidency. He's not even sure, but he's saying maybe Kamala. But I don't know. He could be wrong for the first time, but and this might be it. But anyways, like I said, sound off in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, share. This is for the United States presidency. This is a big thing. If you're gonna go and vote, go out and vote. If you're not gonna vote, know why you're not voting and stick to your guns. It's a free country. Don't let anybody pressure you to vote for somebody who you do not want. Okay, don't listen to any radio hosts, rappers, your grandma's best friend, your church friends. Think about what you want. Does any of the policies reminisce to you? Does it stand for anything that you want? Does it help your life? Think about those things for yourself. Not for the next man, but for yourself. That's it. It's very simple. Very simple. And on that note, I'm Rich, and I'm signing out.
D, signing out.
See you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Later, y'all.